CEO Sim Cyberpunk sells you on this: the feeling of living in a city of dreams and chrome, a world of high stakes stories where every single choice feels like life or death. But it also sells you on this: the thrill of command, the intricate dance of power where one decision can send ripples through an entire organization. So, what happens when you try to fuse the heart of a storyteller with the mind of a master strategist? Well, you get this: a game that promises the world but hands you a spreadsheet. Today, we're breaking down why CECEO Sim Cyberpunk is a fusion that just isn't fun. First, let's talk about the promise of the cyberpunk genre. Its appeal isn't just about the neon lights and the cool clothes, it's about feeling completely immersed. It's about identity. The best cyberpunk stories ground you in their world, making every conversation and choice feel personal, making you feel like you have real stakes in the outcome. That narrative and emotional connection is what makes the world feel alive. CECEO Sim Cyberpunk tries to borrow that exact flavor. It gives you a gritty, futuristic city, some corporate espionage, and a story about a looming war between megacorps. On the surface, it looks the part, but you quickly realize the game misunderstood the appeal as being purely aesthetic, not experimental. It slaps on the cyberpunk branding, but leaves behind the role-playing and high stakes that makes the setting mean something. You're not living in this world, you're just looking at it through a window before being dragged away to check on quarterly earnings. You never get a chance to form any real emotional connection. The other half of this equation is the complex, systematic gameplay you'd expect from a deep simulation game. The joy of those games comes from figuring out how all their complicated systems work together. They're the ultimate sandbox for testing your ideas. You pull a lever here, watch a number go up over there, and slowly begin to understand the intricate machine you're controlling. Mastering that machine, seeing the cause and effect clearly, feels genuinely rewarding. CECEO Sim Cyberpunk tries to do this with its corporate management layer. You've got departments to run, budgets to balance, and projects to launch, all shown as bars and stats. But where a good sim succeeds with systems that are easy to read, this game just fails. It mistakes being complicated for being deep. Instead of clear concepts, you get buried in abstract corporate jargon like golden parachutes and asset distributions. Players complain they can't see the big picture because none of the dots connect. The feedback is just a confusing mess of red and green bars with no real explanation of what they mean or what they're changing. This isn't a fun strategic puzzle, it's a core. It's a spreadsheet that fights back, and not in a good way. And that brings us to the core problem. The two halves of this game are completely at war with each other. A game's mechanics and its story are supposed to work together, but here, they actively get in each other's way. The game is trying to satisfy two fantasies that just don't mix: the personal fantasy of being a character in a cyberpunk story, and the systems fantasy of managing a massive, complex organization. The result is a really jarring loop. You'll get a little piece of story, a tense meeting, a shocking betrayal, a hint of a conspiracy, and then you're immediately yanked out of the moment to go fiddle with confusing menus and sliders you don't even understand. The corporate management stuff doesn't make the story better, and the story does nothing to make the management feel more important. They just undermine each other, breaking your immersion and killing any sense of strategic flow. It feels like trying to read a gripping novel while someone forces you to solve a Sudoku puzzle at the end of every single page. Neither part ends up feeling satisfying. In the end, CECEO Sim Cyberpunk is a bit of a cautionary tale. It borrows the look of cyberpunk and the structure of a sim, but it misses the emotional heart and cinematic clarity that make people love those genres in the first place. Ambitious failures can be more interesting than safe successes, and this game is a fascinating example of why a great idea on paper means nothing if you can't get the pieces to fit together. So, what are some other games you've played where the gameplay and the story felt like they were from two different worlds? Let me know down in the comments. Thanks for watching.